Man, I just spent $650 for some Adidas Gazelles. So in recent years, we have seen luxury brands collaborate with some of the major sneaker companies out there. And Adidas has been at the forefront of this with its collab with Prada, and more recently with Balenciaga. And now Adidas has collabed with one of the oldest and most prestigious houses in luxury fashion. Of course, we're talking about Gucci. And I am very excited to do this review. I will be reviewing the Adidas and Gucci Gazelles. What is up, guys, and welcome back to all of my long-term viewers. Shout out to all of you for supporting the channel. And if you are new here, my name is Josh. I do sneaker reviews and all kinds of other sneaker content. I'm dropping at least 3 videos a week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out my bi-weekly sneaker podcast. In the latest episode, we talked about the current decline in the sneaker market. Make sure you check that out. The Kickback Pod, available on all streaming platforms. And give me a follow on Instagram as well. I'm very active there too, at JDKick6 is the handle. So here it is. I finally, after what feels like months, I finally have these in my hand, the Gucci and Adidas Gazelles. We saw these quite a long time ago on the runway of the fall and winter show of Gucci. And typically I'm not someone who pays much attention to any of these fashion shows, but I don't know if it's because recently I've been really into some classic Adidas models. For example, the Sambas. That Wales Bonner pair, for example, that I copped recently has been my absolute favorite sneaker of the last few months. Maybe that was part of the reason why I was so drawn to these Gucci sneakers. And the other reason being, I just thought this was a very, very well executed luxury collab because both brands, Gucci and Adidas, I felt really stayed true to themselves with this shoe. We of course not only got the sneakers, there was an entire apparel collection. We had everything from t-shirts, bucket hats, handbags. Of course, as you would expect, the price tag for all of these items quite up there. I mean, $200 for a pair of socks, I don't know about that. And the retail price for these was also pretty steep. I paid 650 euros for these. A lot of money to be sure. However, I was pretty confused why in the States the retail price for these was $850. Considering that the US and Euro right now is pretty much at par. That is a significantly higher price in the US, so I'm not exactly sure why. Paying $650 for this is actually the most I've ever personally spent on a sneaker, beating my previous record. So on 3 different occasions, I paid $500 for a pair of shoes, the Travis Lows, the Union Jordan 4s, as well as the Jordan 5 Off-Whites. So these set a new record in terms of how much I personally spent to add a shoe to my own collection. But I didn't know for a while that I would be adding this shoe, so I did sell a couple of pairs from the collection to add these, so it didn't really feel too hard on the wallet. But now let's get into this review. Let's start off with the box. As you would expect, you get a pretty special box here. It's a box, but it's also a bag at the same time. So this is the first Gucci bag I've ever owned. The box is done in a yellow color. You got some maroon colored stripes with the Gucci logo and the Adidas Trefoil logo. And when you slide out the box, you get this beautiful paper with it, which features the Adidas as well as Gucci monograms. And have a look at these beautiful dust bags. You get 2 of them, 1 for each shoe. Well, actually, in fact, you get 4 dust bags because when I opened up the dust bag, guess what I found? I found another dust bag inside. There's no way that dust is gonna land on your shoes. It is double protected. And the model that was chosen by Gucci was the Adidas Gazelle, and it was chosen for a particular reason. Current creative director of Gucci, Alessandro Michele, he is a huge collector of Adidas Gazelles. It is in fact his favorite sneaker. And here are the shoes. So I did go for this colorway. This is the pink colorway and definitely the loudest out of all of the potential colorways. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys must be thinking that this is an absolutely disgusting and hideous colorway. I get it, but I personally love this colorway. So my thinking was, when deciding, I knew I only wanted to get 1 pair. So in deciding which pair I wanted, my first inclination was to get that green velvet pair. But then I thought, you know what, I have so many green sneakers, so then I passed on those. So then really when it came down to it, I felt like the pink option was the best out of all of them. But of course, it's just personal preference. I also figured, hey, if I'm gonna spend $650 on a pair of Gucci sneakers, it's go big or go home. I also don't happen to own any sneakers in my whole collection that are in a pink color. So I was very happy to be able to get this pink pair in my size. If any of you guys actually copped yourself a pair, let me know down in the comments which colorway did you cop and why. And getting the shoe in hand, so the upper of the sneaker is done in this velvet material, and guys, I'm telling you, when you feel this velvet, it's gonna feel like the softest thing you've ever felt. The materials used on the shoe are impeccable. The insole does say that the shoe is made in Italy. I don't know if that means the entire shoe is made in Italy, but this upper is certainly some of the softest and most luxurious feeling materials that I felt on a shoe. All of the shoes in this collection incorporate the use of Demetra, which is actually a material that Gucci developed themselves, and it is completely sustainable and made out of renewable resources. Now you might think that this is just a regular pair of Gazelles with some Gucci branding, but in fact, Gucci did make a few subtle changes to the silhouette. So the first being the profile of the sneaker is a bit lower than your regular Adidas Gazelles. The second difference you see is right here along the mudguard. You see that it has been pushed a lot further. So the mudguard right here is very thin compared to a regular pair of Gazelles. Also the tongue of the sneaker, one of my favorite parts of the shoe, the tongue has been debossed. You got this Gucci print all over the tongue, and it does feature some more Adidas and Gucci branding. And you also get this semi-translucent gum outsole, which is slightly different than your normal Gazelles. It does feature the Gucci logo on the medial side. And then the outsole, you get a beautiful outsole here. You get that double G Gucci logo. You also have the Adidas trefoil there. And one more bit of branding you see at the back of the sneaker. It's done in green, that Stan Smith green that we're familiar with, featuring the trefoil as well as the Gucci logo. The laces that come with the pair are done in white, but then you also get this extra pair of, it's the same color, it's the same white color. You get basically another pair of white laces, just in case these ones get too dirty. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I do not care what any of you guys say. I absolutely love this colorway, and I think this is just a nice pair of shoes. So for sizing on these, unfortunately, it didn't go according to plan. So I did get this in my true size, which is a US 11. And it definitely fits big. I would have preferred to go down half a size. The model seems to be a lot thinner than your normal Adidas Gazelle, so that explains why it's fitting big. Unfortunately, a half size down, a 10.5 was sold out everywhere, and I can't even seem to find it on StockX. So it seems like I'm gonna be stuck with this US 11. So what I'm gonna try to do is maybe put in an additional insole, try to make the shoe a little bit smaller. That's pretty much my only option right now. But if you guys haven't purchased your pair yet, just make sure you go a half size down from your true size. Overall, the Adidas Gucci collab on the Gazelles, are these a cop or a drop? For me, these are one of my personal favorite cops of the year. This is for me a really good luxury collab because both Gucci and Adidas, they didn't try to do too much and instead made a very classic looking shoe that is perfectly Gucci and Adidas at the same time. Like, this is for me how a collab, a luxury collab is supposed to look like. Yes, of course the price is crazy high, can't deny that, but I love them. I'm happy I got them. For me, these are definitely a cop. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Let me know what you guys thought of this Gucci and Adidas collab. Do you think that they're good, overpriced? Let me know. And of course, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.